Hello everybody, it's Sports Federation TV. We're continuing the show this evening. Now it's time for us to talk to Judo. One of my old instructors, not old physically, but one of my former instructors, Mike Job, has joined me on the show here. Former chairperson of the Cape Town Judo Association and 6th Dan in South Africa in terms of judo. Mike, welcome to Federation TV.
Thank you very much.
You and I go back many, many years, from when I was a little kid and you used to throw me around and beat me up and so on. Judo seems to have changed from what I have been watching from the outside. I look at judo in the Olympics now and the way that judo was 15 years ago. It looks like judo's got a lot faster. The techniques are a lot more different.
Yeah, they've changed the rules considerably because the idea, like many sports, is to try and keep the action going, not have people stalling, using cheap tricks, or even the fit of the judo suits is to make sure that you can't have a skin-tight judo suit, which stops me from getting hold of you.
Yeah, and I see now the guys are fighting with blue and...
Yeah, that's purely for television purposes, so that you can tell they refer to blue and white.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not uncommon to have people who look so similar that we don't know who's done what. But even the referee. That
does happen. The referee sometimes looks and he thinks there's a strangle on somebody and it's the wrong arm or the wrong leg.
Not impossible, yes.
How's judo doing in South Africa?
It's, as always, it's plugging along. We rely on new people coming into the fold.
Yeah.
And we hope to spread it all the time. It's not an easy thing to develop because, as you know, it takes equipment, it takes competent coaching, not just anybody.
Yeah.
And it's the schools theoretically are the place to sow the seeds, but it's tough battling against the big sports, the
big sports,
the rugby and cricket and soccer.
You mentioned coaching. Why? I mean, and you're one of our higher ranked coaches in South Africa. Why is coaching so difficult?
And I didn't say it's difficult. I'm just saying that. Everybody would like to be a coach, and basics that people learn in the first year of judo are vitally important to better judo later on.
So how in judo, what do you recommend for a coach to become a better coach?
Nowadays we're very fortunate that you can see a lot. There's a lot of stuff on internet. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. You can watch stuff over and over again. But hopefully you will have started your own judo career in a competent environment where you were taught correctly.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. The traditions of judo, are we still seeing tradition being applied in the dojos?
Yes, very much so. It's essential. It's one of the it's never been difficult for me to do it because to observe those traditions. But it's important for young people to understand.
Because we always have this risk of commercial or Westernism sneaking in. But I mean, that's one of the beauties of judo, is that, we've always taught as judoka right from the beginning, you arrive on time, your gi that must be clean, and from the time that you walk in, you're bowing to say, well, it's not a religion. You're simply observing courtesy and rules. And
it's respect for the sport as well as for other people. And it's important, and it stays with you for life.
Yeah. Well, I certainly have found that it's something that you can take into your lifestyle as well. Yeah. So you can apply your judo principles in business, or
there are no styles in judo, which is one of the things about it. Judo is judo anywhere in the world, which is why it's been in the Olympic Games for the last many years since 1964.
Yeah,
that's a long time for a sport to be in, and it's in there because a good referee anywhere in the world, qualified referee, can aspire to this. There won't be an argument about whether something was a point scored. A point is a point.
Yeah. Although I must say that it's quite hard nowadays when you're watching the Olympics to see the difference between what you call a yuko or wazari or an ippon. It's so subtle.
Yeah. When I started, and probably when you started, there was only ippon, which is a full win, or a wazari.
Yeah.
Then they introduced yuko, and they went down to koka, which is when you just managed to drop somebody onto his backside. But they did away with koka, and I suppose nowadays you have to have yuko because the standard at that Olympic level is so high that just to knock somebody down onto his side is quite an achievement.
Yeah, it's one of those sports that you can't quite see the subtlety in it.
Yes.
When two athletes are standing together, it looks like they're standing still, but there's a lot going on there.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, it probably means a lot more to people who do judo,
Yeah.
but we hope that some of the excitement rubs off on people who don't do judo.
We've got a little clip here that was sent in. Let's take a look here. You can maybe guide us through some of the techniques as well. Okay. These, of course, was this at the Olympics, Mike?
I don't recognize these people. It might be old. Okay, that's a new kataguruma. It's different. He's not allowed to touch the legs nowadays.
Are you not allowed to grab the legs?
He's not touching his legs. Same technique, but it's been adapted.
Yes, yes. I mean, the training that these guys do is also...
Watch this. This is
unbelievable.
the attacker, who was actually doing pretty well, is countered by the same throw.
There's going for the leg and he pulls it back. Oh, wow, that was quite incredible.
That's not something you can practice, though. That's something that person would have
You got a feeling for it.
sucked out of the air
Yeah.
in a flash of brilliance.
I mean, that is just unbelievable.
Two-arm shoulder throw.
Unbelievable. That's an important. Okay, let's just stop it there. I'm afraid we might start running a little bit out of time there. Mike, you mentioned one of the things, ippon there, where we saw the referee his hands straight up in the air. Now that's an ippon.
He was giving an ippon for the throw, but he went straight into an arm lock. So had he not he wasn't presuming it was going to be an ippon. So he was making sure that he finished it off with an arm lock.
The important thing there is that the opponent was landing on his back.
Yes, with force and with some skill. If he missed you completely and threw himself and fell on his back, it wouldn't be your point.
I sort of remember back in the day that, and maybe you'll probably correct me here, it was that the meaning of ippon was supposed to be, if this was in the street, it was almost like a symbolic death.
Yes, it's expressed like that. It's the death of the opponent.
I mean, and to do that, you're landing with incredible force. There's a lot of centrifugal force being generated there.
Yeah. Look, the guys are very, very tough. They train 7 days a week for many, many hours. These are probably full-time judoka. But at the same time, the mats are scientifically designed. They've been thrown like that many, many times. As you see, they don't even break fall.
How hard is the conditioning for folks today? I mean, you talk about I see the kids today are training competitively. It's not just Tuesday, Thursday anymore.
No, sometimes people train at more than one club. They go to camps. They do as much as they can. It depends on how much you want to put into it, because that's what you get out. But look, we make it a rule not to push anybody.
Yeah.
Kids are kids. If they can't do it, they can't do it. They must want to do it. And same with adults. The best our club has ever been when we had about 12 guys over the age of 40. Now that's quite an old guy to be.
Which club was this, Kenilworth? Or?
Yes, when we were in Kenilworth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic club. How are we doing from a club perspective in Cape Town?
I'm doing fine, thank you. We've inherited, because of the amalgamation of the different provinces, we've inherited 3 clubs from what was Boerland, now Winelands.
Yes.
They're down by 3 clubs, I imagine, but they'll build some others up. So we've got now 12 or 13 clubs.
That's because of the Demarcation Act.
Yeah. Yes.
And clubs have to conform to the municipal boundaries. Yeah. All right. For the kids out there, moms and dads, I mean, obviously it goes without saying. I get a lot of people asking me what sport, what martial art should my child do, or what sport should my child do, and I always say start off with judo. You can start at the age of 4, and that will form a solid foundation for you to go play rugby one day or tennis. Judo seems to me like the perfect foundation sport.
It's PT with fun. They're doing what they should be doing. But there's some sort of point to it. And obviously small kids don't do that kind of judo. You're not expecting them to rise to that level.
Yeah.
It's more like puppies playing. They play judo-related games which develop the skills and the abilities that...
So it's fantastic for the major and minor motor control.
Yeah.
You fall on your back by accident, or you fall off your bicycle, you know how to land.
Yeah. You're also not so freaked out about falling, because most of us adults spend all of our lives trying not to fall. Kids fall all the time and they don't even know that they're doing it. So when they do it on a judo mat, on a soft, scientifically designed judo mat, good for them.
And it's great for your confidence.
Yes, hopefully so.
Yeah, Mike, we're going to leave it at that. It's been fantastic having you on the show. I know we could definitely talk for many more hours. I'm definitely going to have to come and get my gi from you.
After the 14th of December, we've closed for Christmas.
After the 14th of December, fantastic.
Okay.
Mike, it's great to have you on the show, and we look forward to following the progress of Cape Town Judo, and I'm sure 2017 is going to be a great year for you guys.
Yes, it will. Thank you for the exposure.
There we go, folks. When we come back, we'll be talking to the guys from Black Powder Shooting, and shortly after that, gymnastics. Back in a sec.